All right, so this week we're talking about motivation and staying motivated throughout the semester. I know at this point, some people struggle with motivation, trying to stay motivated, finishing out the semester. So how do we continue to stay motivated? How do we continue to keep that energy up to finish our assignments and finish the semester strong? So motivation comes and goes. You're not always 100% motivated. Sometimes we're not motivated at all. And sometimes it can be hard when we're not motivated to complete tasks, whether it's doing homework, making this PowerPoint for me, or really anything else. And it can be for small things or large things, right? It can be like finding the motivation to complete that semester long project that you're supposed to turn in. Or it can be something maybe as simple as at home as trying to remember to like wash the dishes or put them away or like all of those little things. And something to remember is that everyone struggles with it from time to time. If someone's like, I'm always motivated to get everything done, they're lying. Everyone struggles with it. Sometimes it comes really easily to stay motivated, sometimes it's not. So, how do we stay motivated? How do we keep on track when it's really hard to do that? So, I'm going to give you kind of some tips and things that I use to stay motivated throughout, so hopefully they will help you. So one big thing is to define any goals and tasks that you have to do. So define exactly what it is. Like make essentially a to-do list of what does it need to get done and be specific about it. Don't be like finish homework. Be specific of like finish homework number 4, finish homework number 5. And be realistic about your expectations for completing those, right? Like if you have, say, for example, 5 homeworks due the last week of the semester, can you realistically get all of those done? It depends. Some people say, yes, I have the time, they're not really long, I can get it done. Whereas some other students are like, there is no way I can get all of them done. I can only get like 3 of them done because I don't have the time and they're really long. And that's okay. So like be realistic about like what you can or can't get done. So for example, at the end of the year, I do a bullet journal. So at the end of the year, like kind of November, December, I need to set up my entire journal for next year. There's a paper I had to complete for class, and I wanted to put up Christmas decorations. So those are specific things that I wanted to do and get done. So like on the right here, here's an example of specific things and pages for my journal that I wanted to add. I just didn't say I need to set up my journal because that's kind of vague, right? Like I specifically, here are the different pages that I need to put in so that way I knew exactly what it was. It's not this fake thing. And defining that, being specific, can help us feel a little less overwhelmed. It gives us kind of a starting point to start working on something off of. Another thing that kind of leads into this when you're making your to-do list is breaking those big goals or tasks into smaller parts. So you really focus on those little steps, you take those little baby steps at a time, and then you realize you're making huge strides in your big project. So for my journal, I have what I call these monthly pages I do for each month. So I'm sorry. I broke it down into different parts. I said basically I need to do a month page. Now I need to do a goals and events page. Now I need to do a meal prep page. So I checked them off one by one. So I wasn't focusing on like I have all of this I need to do. I'm focusing specifically on this one page at a time, and that makes it a lot easier and a lot more manageable and less stressful and overwhelming to look at those parts. So, for example, for school stuff, you could see this as, for example, an essay. If you say have this giant essay that's due at the end of the semester, break that into smaller parts. Say, this week I'm working on the intro. Next week I'm working on, argument 1. Next week is argument 2, and just focus on that week solely. So like when you get to the intro week, just solely focus on the intro. Don't worry about the rest of it. And that way it seems a little more manageable to work just solely on an intro for an essay rather than worrying about the entire thing. Another thing that can help us with motivation, staying motivated, staying on top of things is setting your routine. So basically setting your schedule and fitting goals and tasks into your routine, that is something you want to accomplish. Can help you kind of better track your time and keep on staying motivated for that specific time. So for example, on the right here, this is my schedule that I made for one semester. I went through like the entire day, so like from 7 to 7, right? And here's when I get ready for work, here's all these other things. And number one, having a routine really helps say, okay, look, I have this free time here of when I can do things. It helps me keep on track. The other thing too is that if I want to add something to it, so for example, like I wanted to start running, I could see where to add that in. So I have exercise here, and having that time set aside for that specific goal, that specific task, for me jogging, really helped me stay motivated, because there was a time of day that I had, this is solely for that purpose. It wasn't like crammed in somewhere. Like I set a time aside, and starting to do it more daily kind of helped me stay motivated to keep on track and keep doing it. Setting an end time for tasks. So if you're working, for example, like on an essay or an assignment project, sometimes having a vague, open-ended, like, I'm going to work on this evening, and knowing that you have, hours in the evening, can kind of demotivate you from working on it, because you're like, this is so much time, this is a huge project. So sometimes putting a stop or an end time for something can actually make you more motivated to get it done, because like, there's a certain point where I'm going to put that away and not look at it ever again. Right? So, for example, like, okay, I hate writing. Like, I hated English class. Don't like it. So essays were always my thing that I struggled to stay motivated for, struggled to like work on, because I just did not want to do them. So I found out a way for me was setting end times for an essay, and I did this in 2 different ways. So the first way was like, we had different sections. So I would like come home and be like, I'm working on this section and this section only today. So I work on it, do the research, kind of type it up, work on it. And then when I finished that section, I would stop. And for whatever reason, knowing that I only, like, when I was done with that section, I got to do then whatever I wanted to do, made it seem less overwhelming. It made it seem less daunting. And I was a little more motivated to get it done, knowing that there was like an endpoint in sight. Like, once the section is done, I can just move on to the next thing. Like, that was fine. The other way to work this is having like a set time, a time frame of like, at this time I'm going to stop. So like for me, saying, at 11 o'clock, I'm going to stop what I'm doing, going to put it away, and I'm going to turn on the TV, read a book, whatever. That also helped, because it also meant that like, I wasn't going to endlessly work on this essay. Like, there was a point where I was like, look, I get to put this essay away for the day, and I don't have to think about it till tomorrow or the day after. So sometimes putting that can help you go like, okay, well, you only have to look at this for 15 minutes, so you might as well get started, you might as well work on it. So sometimes that can help as well. Getting comfortable. This can either be getting comfortable in what you're wearing or your space. So have you ever noticed that you're more motivated to do things if you're wearing certain clothes, or maybe your hair is a certain way? That you can use that to your advantage. So getting your space and yourself ready, and so whatever you notice is motivated, can help. So for example, I, like many women, when I put my hair up, that means I'm getting down to business, I'm getting to work on something, whatever that is. So I noticed that. And so if, for example, if I'm doing something at home, and I have an assignment that I need to work on or something, and I need to go do it, is I'll put my hair up, because even if I don't need to put my hair up, like I don't need my hair up to type on my laptop, but I'll put my hair up because for me, that's my signal of like, okay, you need to get down to business, you need to focus. And that kind of helps me stay motivated and working on it, versus when my hair is down, it's kind of like whatever. I prefer bright lighting when I'm working on things, because that means like focus. It means you need to get things done again. So if I'm wanting to like, for example, like recording this, I have like all the lights are on bright, because that tells me, it's like a cue to my brain, like, hey, you need to focus, you need to get things done. Some people prefer like less lighting. They prefer like more muted lighting. That's fine, use that. Organize your desk space. Some people get all your supplies together, everything you need, so you're not hunting for things as you're looking for it. Whatever that means, but lean into that. Get comfortable. If you are more motivated to work on things in sweatpants and a t-shirt, put them on. If you prefer pajamas, put those on. Whatever it is, like, getting comfortable can help you stay motivated and help you work on your assignments as well. The other thing, and this seems a little counterintuitive, but taking breaks. If you start to feel overwhelmed and you're working on something, step back and take a break. This kind of helps reset your brain. It helps you kind of step back from it, focus on something else and kind of reorient that focus. So for example, I have spent time working on a paper and I got really frustrated with it. I don't remember what I was writing about, to be honest, but I was getting really frustrated that I wasn't wording something right, or something wasn't working the way I wanted it to work. And I was getting very, very frustrated to the point that I really wasn't effectively really doing any work on the essay. It was more just me like being frustrated. So what I did is I literally got up out of my chair and I walked to a different room in my apartment, and for the next like 15-20 minutes, I played with my dog. We walked around outside, walked out onto my balcony. I just did not do anything schoolwork. And that helped kind of calm me down a little bit, allow me to get that frustration out. But it also allowed my brain to kind of reset that focus point, kind of go back. So then when I was done, I came back to my essay and I was able to focus on, okay, what exactly is it that I need to get done? Where exactly is the problem? And I was able to kind of fix through and work through whatever I was having issues with. So taking a break can actually really help you. That also leads me into the next thing, is practicing self-care. Remembering to take time for yourself is really important, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. I know a lot of us say, oh, we're really busy. I don't have time for that. I'm guilty of that too. But really, even if it's just 15 minutes, playing some fun game on our phone, maybe it's just sitting outside for 15 minutes, whatever it is, like that can help. We need a point to de-stress. We need something that we can kind of let our mind go wander wherever it goes. Find a fun hobby to enjoy. If there's something you enjoy doing, like if you enjoy running, fit that into your schedule. If you enjoy Legos, like I said, Legos, do that. If you enjoy reading, or take time to go hang out with your friends, like practice whatever self-care that kind of helps recharge your batteries, because that's going to help you when you come back to your assignments or your classes, or getting all the huge giant to-do list done. It's going to help you stay motivated because you're recharging yourself. You're not just completely draining your battery. Another important thing is to celebrate all the little wins. Celebrate each small step. It may seem small, but it's really important. And celebrating those small steps kind of helps reinforce in your brain that is a positive thing, and it will help you want to keep going. That being said, if you've got like a checklist, watching that progress can help you keep motivated to stay going. Of like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So like, for example, for my months that I had to complete for my journal, I just kind of listed all the months and check them off as I was done. So A, because I wanted to keep track of where I was. But B, it allowed me, when I was, say, for example, done with July, I checked it off, and then I went and took a break and did something completely different and got a snack, rewarded myself basically. But then it's kind of nice because as I get further through, I can see my progress. I can see, look, I've done all of these. I only have like 5 more to go. I'm almost there. Just keep going. And that helps me stay motivated to keep on track of completing that journal page. Another thing, reward yourself. Once you finish your goal or task, step, whatever, however you have it set up, reward yourself. This can be like watching a TV show, getting a snack, like it can be whatever it is that you find gratifying and you enjoy, use that. You can also use the reward to get stuff done. So I'm a big fan of Friends. So like my reward for finishing my paper, I tell myself, like, if you finish this paper, you can just kind of like sit one afternoon and you just get to binge watch Friends. And that kind of helps me stay motivated to complete it done, because I knew that there was a prize essentially at the end of that. And it can be small things like, great, like a snack. If you're just like, well, I finished studying this section, I'm gonna go get a snack. That works too. So what do we do when we're struggling? Sometimes it's just about getting through the day, and that is perfectly okay. Just do what you can. Celebrate any little wins. And by little wins, I mean little wins. Like, if getting out of bed is a celebration, then celebrate getting out of bed. If brushing your teeth is a cool thing you need to do for the day, then you celebrate that. Just kind of do what you can. Just take it one day at a time. Sometimes it's just, don't worry about the rest of the week. Sometimes it's just, well, I just need to get through Monday. And then when you get through Monday, I just need to get through Tuesday. And then the next thing you know, it'll be Friday. And just remember that it's okay. We all have points in our life when we hit this point where we're just trying to get through the day. This is a quote here that I don't know who said it. I found it on Pinterest, but I really do like it. Don't forget that you're human. It's okay to have a meltdown. Just don't unpack and live there. Cry it out and then refocus on where you're headed. And that's okay. If you're having a moment where you're just being overwhelmed with everything that's going on, it's okay. Sit down and have that tantrum, have that meltdown, cry it out, yell, whatever it is, because sometimes that emotional release is just as important and effective of like helping us refocus as coming up with a plan. So like go ahead, like I said, have that meltdown, have that tantrum. And when you're done, kind of then come up with, all right, let's pick one thing that I can accomplish off that list and go ahead and do that. So hopefully you found these tips helpful. Like I said, as I said in previous PowerPoints, just pick one tip to see if that helps, if you can try that. So hopefully you found all of this helpful.